Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Hope everybody doing well on this beautiful Monday morning, man. We had a whole lot of really good boxing that went on this past weekend, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. But I want to talk about George Kambosos and his next fight. Of course, all the real boxing fans, all the true boxing fans that want to see the best fight the best, that want to see one face, one name, one champion, who want to see real undisputed. We want to see George Kambosos versus Devin Haney. You have Devin Haney has one of the best resumes at lightweight right now, especially out of the young guys. I mean, he came off of a really good performance versus Jorge Linares, who was a tough competitor, former world champion, 3-division world champion. Then he just had a very, very good fight where I had him winning 9-3, 8-4 at minimum versus another very good fighter in his prime, Jojo Diaz, former world champion, 2-division world champion. You know what I'm saying? And, this guy is continuing to get better and better and get more experience. And again, this man is only 23 years old. So it's been a pleasure to watch the maturation process of Devin Haney. George Kambosos, very skilled fighter, coming off the biggest win in his career, an upset victory over Teofimo Lopez. And he did his thing, man. Surprised a lot of people. Surprised me. He did his thing, and, that was a great victory. But now he's a unified champion, IBF, WBA, and the WBO. We know that, and the ring champion. We know that Devin Haney is the real and true WBC champion. Devin Haney holds the WBC belt that Errol Spence holds, that Tyson Fury holds, that Clarissa Shield holds in her undisputed campaign in 2 different weight classes at the same damn time. I know she's just relinquishing her belts, I believe, in one of those divisions. You know what I'm saying? He holds the same WBC title that Josh Taylor holds, who's currently undisputed at 140. Devin Haney got the same belt that all these other champions got. So we know that he is the true WBC champion. No matter how you want to slice it, he's the real champion. If you want to be undisputed, you got to have all 4 belts. Now, after George Kambosos' fight with Teofimo Lopez, he said that he's willing to fight Devin Haney. He said that, that's a fight that he won't. He respects Devin Haney as a champion. And you could tell there's mutual respect there. But I started to see a little bit of I'm not shitting on George Kambosos. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to let him show me who he really is before we go that route. But I want to just set the stage and put this shit out there, and let's talk about what this shit really is. You dig what I'm saying? So George Kambosos, I noticed a little, something that was kind of iffy, man, leading up to Devin Haney's fight versus Jojo Diaz. He talking about, we'll see what he looked like. I want to fight him, but, if he looked this way or if he looked that way, I'll fight him and all that. It wasn't nothing definite. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to fight Devin Haney next if he beat Jojo Diaz because I want to be truly undisputed. It was like, well, if he looked spectacular, if he looked this way, because they were still thinking about, well, we want the Tank Davis fight, because obviously Tank Davis is a bigger name. Now, the funny thing is that the guys that fight Devin Haney, they actually make more money. These dudes that's fighting Tank Davis, they ain't getting no money like that. Motherfuckers fighting Devin Haney, Jorge Linares made more money than Tank Davis' last opponent. Jojo Diaz made more money. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, he fighting better guys. And well, at least Jojo Diaz, in my opinion, was a better fighter than Tank Davis' last opponents. So these guys is actually making more money fighting Devin Haney than they fighting Tank Davis. So we can we really throw the whole money situation in there? But that's just one thing, right? And shout out to Tank Davis. I love Tank Davis too, but I'm putting everything in perspective, right? Trying to cover all angles here. So, we obviously know that Tank Davis is the bigger name. He's a fan favorite with hardcore boxing fans and casuals. He has a solid fan base behind him, a nice size following. He's an incredibly gifted, talented, and skilled fighter who is exciting to watch, and he has that knockout factor, that entertainment factor that, you know, it is crucial when you're gonna be like a pay-per-view attraction. He's been on pay-per-view 3 times now. Did some decent numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but Tank Davis, he had a very competitive fight with Isaac Cruz, a guy who was a heavy underdog. And I had Tank Davis winning that fight 8-4 at minimum, 7-5. You know what I'm saying? And George Kambosos, after that fight, he seemed like, I don't know about Tank Davis. Now, you know, he didn't look spectacular or whatever. You dig what I'm saying? But that's not even I ain't even thinking about that, because I want to see Devin Haney versus Kambosos for Undisputed, right? Now, truth be told, if they did go the route of fighting Tank Davis, I don't think Tank Davis goes to Australia. Tank Davis is going to see himself as the A side. So they going to want to have that fight in the States on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? And they going to be the A side. That's just how it's going to be. With Devin Haney told Kambosos to his face, literally immediately after his fight with Jojo Diaz, they brought Kambosos ringside with Devin Haney. Devin Haney said, I'll fight this man on Jupiter. He said, look, you the unified champion. I don't mind being the B-side. I don't mind you know, having that being the favorite. I don't mind none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm willing to get it out the mud. That's the type of attitude that Devin Haney bring it to the table. Again, this man 23 years old, very mature for his age. He just turned 23. You know what I'm saying? Very mature for his age, looking at things from the right lenses and really trying to be the best, trying to prove himself. And this is the attitude that he's taking. That's the attitude of a true champion. And the way George Kambosos was talking immediately after his victory versus Teofimo Lopez, he came off as a true champion to me as well. And I'm just hoping that he stick to that. Well, now, you know, Vasil Lomachenko destroys Richard Comeau, man. Vasil Lomachenko been on a tear. He's been looking incredibly just amazing. With his victory over Nakatani, went out there, beat that boy like he stole something. He put every body limb on that boy. You know what I'm saying? Then he went out there with Richard Comeau. You know what I'm saying? Beat the brakes off him too. You know, he doing his damn thing, and Lomachenko is showing everybody that, look, I'm still here. You know, that victory that Teofimo Lopez got over him was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Loma didn't throw no punches for the first 6 rounds. He's showing everybody like, look, I'm really that guy. I'm still here. And I respect Vasil Lomachenko as a fighter. You know, but at the same time, you had your chance. You had your chance to really be undisputed, because you could have defended your title versus Devin Haney, kept the real WBC belt, and then went to go beat Teofimo Lopez for to be truly undisputed. But no, you vacated your title and you ducked Devin Haney. No matter how y'all want to look at it, this is facts. That fight was mandated by the WBC. He was They mandated Devin Haney as Lomachenko's mandatory. They allowed him to petition for the franchise title so he can avoid. That's what the franchise title is for. It gives you privileges to avoid motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's what it do. It lets you be selective with your opponents. That's what the fucking franchise title do. And it's not a real belt because it's not in every fucking division. If it was a real title, it'll be every division will have a franchise champion. But there's not. You know what I'm saying? It's complete bullshit. So, you know, Lomachenko, he had his chance to beat Lopez and have 3 of the major titles after relinquishing his WBC title. But he could have kept that and then went to go beat Lopez and been truly undisputed. So Devin Haney is the one who truly deserves this opportunity. Ain't no way you can make me think otherwise. And then I got people, this how bad it is right now. I got people in the comment section telling me that Devin Haney just ain't got no big enough name, when Devin Haney is a bigger name than Lomachenko and Kambosos. You dig what I'm saying? Devin Haney making more money than them, and he a bigger name. He got more fans. And look, motherfucker try to tell me Lomachenko, you know, is bigger. Now, Tank Davis, I will agree. He is a bigger name, you know, he probably sells more tickets. He's been fighting on pay-per-view, so I can agree with that. And he's a very exciting fighter. I can agree with that. But Lomachenko, he's a great fighter, but this motherfucker ain't no pay-per-view attraction. He don't sell out no damn arenas. Outside of hardcore fans, Lomachenko is nobody knows who the fuck he is. If you walk down the street, you can find somebody who know Devin Haney, who Devin Haney is, before you find somebody who know Lomachenko. If you just talking to casual fans, Lomachenko is a great fighter, but he is not no box office guy. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. He's never fought on pay-per-view, bruh. He's never headlined a pay-per-view. None of that shit. Nobody knows who the fuck Lomachenko is outside of hardcore boxing fans. So you can't use that logic talking about Kambosos should fight Vasil Lomachenko because he's a bigger name. No, he might be the more respected fighter. He might be the more credible guy. He might be the more accomplished guy. But if you talking about selling tickets and making money, Lomachenko ain't the guy. He not finna make you no whole shitload of a lot of money. It ain't gonna go down like that. If you think that Kambosos versus Lomachenko is a better fight, then that's one thing. But does that mean he deserved to fight over Devin Haney? Fuck no. Devin Haney is the WBC champion. So if you want to just make a Kambosos and Lomachenko fight just for the hell of it, then say that. But don't label that shit as undisputed. We want to see undisputed. I want to see undisputed. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? So all this shit, motherfuckers just keep moving the goalposts just so they can continue to shit on Devin Haney, say he ain't this, he ain't that. But when you look at the truths, and you look at what's really going on, you see that Devin Haney has done everything that he's supposed to do to be in the position that he's at right now. Just like him becoming a mandatory for Lomachenko. He fought all the guys that he needed to fight to get into that position. And when it came down for him to get his shot, they took it away from him. You know what I'm saying? He got the belt, but they took away his opportunity to fight the man and prove that he is who we say he is, or who he says he is. So are we going to keep trying? Are we going to keep advocating for this type of behavior and these movements? Are we going to keep advocating for them taking opportunities away from guys who actually deserve that shit? If you're a real boxing fan, you should be pushing for Kambosos Haney. If you think that Haney is just trash and he ain't shit, you should be pushing for Kambosos to expose him. You know? You should be pushing for him. You should be pushing for that. If you think that Haney can beat Kambosos and he can potentially be undisputed, you should be pushing for that fight. There's no reason why fans shouldn't want to see undisputed. There's no reason. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. What do y'all think Kambosos is going to do next? Is Kambosos the real deal? Is he really the true champion that we all think he is? You know, is he going to keep his word? You know, is he going to fight Devin Haney next for undisputed, or will he duck Devin Haney and go after the bigger fight like the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? And true be like, bruh, come on. Come on now. Lomachenko is not finna sell you no tickets, bruh. He ain't no pay-per-view attraction. None of that. If they put Kambosos versus Lomachenko on pay-per-view, that bitch ain't doing 200,000, bruh. I'm telling you, they probably gonna do a good gate in Australia. Shit, Kambosos versus Haney will do a good gate in Australia. But pay-per-view? Bro, they not finna sell no pay-per-view. Don't nobody know who the fuck Lomachenko is, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. Unless they make the pay-per-view $5.99 or something, that bitch gonna sell 200,000 max. I'd be surprised if it do 300,000, bro. I mean, what are we talking about here? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.